A woman wakes up in the middle of the night to find her husband is not in bed. She puts on her dressing gown and leaves the bedroom. He sits at the kitchen table with a cup of coffee, deep in thought, just staring at the wall. She can see a tear slipping from his eyes, and he takes a long sip of his coffee. "What's wrong, darling? Why are you sitting in the kitchen at this hour?" she asks him. "Do you remember when we had our first date 20 years ago? You were only 16, he asks her. "But yes," she replies. "Do you remember when your dad caught us making love in the backseat of my car?" "Yes, I remember it well. I'll never forget it." "Do you also remember when he held his gun in my face and said, 'Either you marry my daughter or you go to prison for the next 20 years?'" "Oh yeah," she says. He wipes another tear from his cheek and says, "You know, today I would have been released from prison," and breaks into a deep sob. Recently, a husband superstore opened where women go to choose a husband from a variety of men. It was laid out over 5 floors, with the men incrementally increasing in positive attributes from floor to floor as one ascended. The only rule was, once you opened the door to any floor, you had to choose a man from that floor. If you went up a floor, you couldn't go back down except to leave the place, never to return. A couple of women went to the shopping center to find some husbands. First floor, the door sign read, "These men have jobs and love kids." One of the women said, "Well, that's better than not having a job or not loving kids, but I wonder what's further up." Second floor. The sign read, "These men have high-paying jobs, love kids, and are extremely good-looking." Said the other woman, "I wonder what's further up." Third floor, this sign read, "These men have high-paying jobs, are extremely good-looking, love kids, and help with the housework." "Wow," said one. "Very tempting. But there's another floor." So up they went. Fourth floor. The door sign said, "These men have high-paying jobs, love kids, are extremely good-looking, help with the housework, and have a strong romantic streak." "Oh," gasped one of the women, "just think what must be waiting on the top floor." And up they went, 5th floor. The sign on the door said, "This floor is empty and exists only to prove that women are fucking impossible to please." A wife was in bed with her lover when she heard her husband's key in the door. "Stay where you are," she said. "He's so drunk he won't even notice you're in bed with me." The husband lurched into bed, but a few minutes later, through a drunken haze, he saw 6 feet sticking out at the end of the bed. He turned to his wife. "Hey, there are 6 feet in this bed. There should only be 4. What's going on?" "You're so drunk you miscounted," said the wife. "Get out of bed and try again. You can see better from over there." The husband climbed out of bed and counted. 1, 2, 3, 4. Damn, you're right. A woman's husband had been slipping in and out of a coma for several months, yet she had stayed by his bedside every single day. One day, when he came to, he motioned for her to come nearer. As she sat by him, he whispered, eyes full of tears, "You know what? You have been with me all through the bad times. When I got fired, you were there to support me. When my business failed, you were there. When I got shot, you were by my side. When we lost the house, you stayed right here. When my health started failing, you were still by my side. You know what?" "What, dear?" she gently asked, smiling as her heart began to fill with warmth. "I think you're bad luck. Why don't you fuck off?" A man and a woman were having dinner in a fine restaurant. Their waitress, taking another order at a table a few feet away, noticed that the man was slowly sliding down his chair and under the table, with the woman acting unconcerned. The waitress watched as the man slid all the way down his chair and out of sight under the table. Still, the woman dining across from him appeared calm and unruffled, apparently unaware that her dining companion had disappeared. After the waitress finished taking the order, she came over to the table and said to the woman, "Pardon me, ma'am, but I think your husband just slid under the table." The woman calmly looked up at her and replied firmly, "No, he didn't. He just walked in the door." A man goes home after being at his mistress's house. However, he realized that he smelled like her perfume, so then he goes to the nearby bar, drinks a couple of glasses of whiskey, and heads home. His wife met him at the door, smelled him, and told him, "You dirty pig. You can pour a gallon of women perfume over yourself, and I'll know that you've been drinking."